So before Christ, I felt very second place to everyone around me. I was empty and I was searching for meaning. I grew up in a very broken home where both of my parents were addicts in different ways, and they got divorced when I was about 12, and really I was blindsided and brokenhearted by that news. And then for a couple of years after that, both of my parents began to spiral downward. I was encouraged by my sister to check out this thing called Young Life, and it was this fun atmosphere, and it wasn't over-the-top youth group like. It was just a bunch of people having fun, and at the end, they would tell a story from the Bible. I had a lot of friends that went, so I kept going so I could hang out with my friends more. One summer at a Young Life camp, a bunch of my friends gave their lives to the Lord. And when we came home from that trip, we all started meeting together to dive deeper into the Bible and to see who Jesus was. So throughout the next few months, I began to understand and I began to ask Him to help me get closer to Him in any way possible. A few months later, one of my best friends was actually killed, and I remember at his funeral looking down and asking myself, where would I go if that was me being lowered into the ground? And I really didn't know the answer to that question, but I think God used that situation to help me dive deeper into what a relationship with Jesus actually looked like. In the next year, I began taking my faith more seriously, and even though I don't have a specific date when I gave my life to the Lord, I can remember gradually over time falling more and more in love with Jesus and who He was. It was about the age of 17 when I decided to serve Jesus for the rest of my life, and I knew that God had more for me than a broken home and a feeling of worthlessness and a feeling of being a victim of addiction. So if you feel broken, beat up, alone, let down, if you feel like the world is closing in on you and the closest people around you have marked you as an afterthought, I want you to know that God doesn't see you that way, but quite the opposite. He loves you so much that He sent His Son, Jesus, to die for you so that you and Him could have a relationship and you could have freedom from hurt, loneliness, and the things you've done wrong. He knows you and He loves you still. And He just wants you to be with Him. So I invite you to trust your heart with Jesus and invite Him to come into your heart.